playing fields that yield enriched lives, teachers and protectors of an American tradition. It is a responsibility we all take seriously, a challenge we all must embrace, because we are forever football.
From Perry Panther Stadium in Massillon, Ohio, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to USA Football's National Development Camp. It's been 3 weeks, Troy Richardson, of a lot of football, a lot of camps, a lot of practice, a lot of games, and here we are, the final day, Team Red against Team Silver.
3 weeks, over 1,000 players from grades 7 through 12, and it all culminates today as these players are trying to earn a spot for the U.S. national team. As we're going to get ready here to start it off, see if we get a chance here to get some players to watch in this game as well, Jeff.
Silver won the toss. They deferred. Red gets the ball, and on play number 1, a 1-yard loss.
Here are our red team players to watch. We have Cameron Swope and Nico Marcello, the quarterback, number 8. For the silver team, you're looking at Christopher Thomas, a running back, and a strong linebacker in Dawson Hubbard.
Number 7 is B.J. Higgins at quarterback. He will hand off. And that will go to the 35-yard line, sets up a third down and long situation. A few rule modifications that we should pass along as well, Troy.
Yeah, there's no kicking. They'll punt, but there's no punt return, no rush. You can attempt a field goal, but once again, no rush. No kickoffs after a score. You will get the ball at the 35-yard line. Just not enough time in 5 practices to work on special teams.
Higgins under fire as he attempts to pass, and he is swarmed over by the front line of the Silver team. That's a loss to the 30-yard line, sets up 4th down and about 15.
Well, that's a good pressure coming here by number 88, Bryson Lamb. But you're going to see the initial pressure comes from number 44, Ryan Ehart, out of New York.
These young men from all around the country.
Represented from 38 different states from around the Union.
Cameron Welch out of Texas will do the punting. You see, take all the time he needs. End over end punt. It is fielded at the 45-yard line. Rydell, the industry leader in football head protection, is proud to support the U.S. national team as USA Football's official helmet and protective equipment partner.
Rydell came in this week and they fitted every player professionally for their helmet. Safety first when it comes to Rydell. Safety first when it comes to USA Football.
Great field position for the Silver team on their first possession of the afternoon. This the next to last game. One more after this. That concludes a long period of workouts for these young men.
3 weeks, well over 1,000 players.
Silver team goes right to the air, up the sideline and out of bounds inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line in the arms of Jake Vance.
Wide receiver out of Indiana, nice job. Catches it, turns, gets to the sideline, tucks the ball away, is able to pick up some extra yardage, going to bring up 2nd and 3rd.
Holt Reese is your quarterback. Young man also from Texas. And he will go right back to the air, deep down the left side. It is incomplete again. Tried to hook up with Vance. Overshot him a bit. Coverage on the play by Connor Stoddard.
It's very impressive how in just 5 or 6 practices, these teams are able to mesh so well to come out and play a football game. You look at most programs, you practice for 3 weeks before you even have a scrimmage or a game, and they're trying to come out and play as a unit within just 5 practices.
There's a fumble on the exchange, and Reese is able to fall on it. It'll be a loss back to the 43.
Looked like a little bit of an outside zone read, and there you see one of the issues that you have, players getting used to each other, trying to get the mesh point so he can read the backside end, and ball just gets bobbled loose.
4th and 8. And a punting situation for the Silver team. And that one will roll inside the 15 and be down near the 12-yard line.
Fielded there by number 52, Brock Swanson, linebacker out of Minnesota.
10-minute periods here. And it is as hot as it looks.
About 95 degrees right now. and it's only going to get warmer as that sun keeps peeking out from behind the clouds.
We are in Massillon, Ohio, just down the road from Canton, home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as festivities are just about ready to get going in that neck of the woods for the annual Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony.
About another week here, it's going to get pretty crazy. Number 8, the quarterback there, we talked about in the pregame show, Martilio.
And he will hand off on the first play, rumbling down to the 14-yard line. There's some size there, that young man.
Cameron Swope out of Kansas, and they grow him big in Kansas. That's not your typical size middle schooler right there.
Swope gets the call again, crashes his way to the 16, maybe the 17-yard line, and a manageable third down now for the red team.
Good, powerful run by Swope. Just needs to work on lowering his shoulders and running with a lower pad level, and that's something when you're a little bit taller for your age, it's a tough skill to learn. But once he learns to lower that shoulder and deliver the blow and punish the tackler, he's going to be a bruiser.
Penalty markers are down. There's offsides on the defense. That'll be a first down, our first of the ball game.
Well, that's always nice when you get to move the sticks without even having to run a play. Kind of a modified pistol formation.
Back to the ground. First carry for Luke Kiefer. And he is weaving his way over the 40. Takes a pretty good blow at the 40 and falls ahead of the 42. That's a first down for the red team.
Nice run by Kiefer, a shifty little running back out of Texas. As you take a look here at the replay, he's got a lead block in there that's designed to hit inside, but nice seal block by his right tackle. Kiefer showing good vision, makes a cut to the outside, evades a tackle, nice spin move, manages to pick up extra yardage and a first down, but a great seal block there by his right tackle, Brent Carlson out of Massachusetts. Great job there.
Montreal will hand off. First carry, this time in the hands of Caden Watts, young man from Arkansas. Picks up about 4.
Watts once again does a nice job of reading his blocker. You're going to see the tackle, pushes his man out. He's going to cut it up inside. Good vision by Watts, but once again, good block by Carlson. Gotta love the offensive line play.
Left-hander slings it deep for the big throw, and he's got it. All the way down to the 20-yard line. Michael Masunas, the tight end from Arizona.
Look at this play right here. Looks long, gonna throw deep. He gets by him. Look at the separation the big man gets as he rumbles it down to about the 20-yard line. Nice running catch.
There's some size in the tight end. All the way down to the red zone. I'll go back to the ground game. Another carrier, Clement McCullough, the second. He spins his way for a pair.
McCullough,
down 8.
out of Illinois.
It is hot. You will see a lot of rotation in the lineup for both teams. A lot of hydration going on the far sideline. We got penalty markers down. Again, the silver team jumped.
Just trying to run a check with me play there. End up drawing the defense off. Want to look over to the sidelines. Coach is going to read the defense and signal in the play.
So second down 2. Again, it is Kiefer, and he is inside the 5. Sets up first down, goal to go for the red team.
Nice job by Kiefer, but a really good job here by the offensive line, getting a good initial surge up front. And that's something that's difficult, everyone coming off the ball at the same time when it's 5 players not having played together. But look there, Kiefer, nice job, tries to beat him to the pylon.
And again to Swope. Squares up the shoulders, and he's down to the 3.
Swope trying to bounce it to the outside as he gets a couple of tacklers just bouncing off of him. But you're going to see this is a player you want to hit low, wrap up, keep the head up, and try to drive through the tackle, because if you don't, he's going to put a foot in your chest.
You've coached a game or two. Would you tell Swope to go for the sideline or square up and go for the goalpost?
I'm telling him, you get your shoulder square and you just rumble forward.
Kiefer weaves his way inside the 2. He stopped shy of the goal line near the 1.
Nice goal line stand so far here by the Silver team, not breaking down, kind of tightening their defense up. Linebackers are stepping up harder to fill here inside the 5-yard line. Good penetration. Look at the defensive end coming up there to make the play.
This is Swope's office. Here he comes. Touchdown! Team Red.
Yeah, Swope wasn't trying to beat anyone to the corner. They beat him to the pylon there. He's just saying, I'm a truck and I'm just going to go forward.
Run downhill, young man.
Rumble. Nothing fancy here when you take a look at this replay. I'm going to give it to him. Great. Oh, look at the down block by number 76, Michael Remitz out of Texas. But a great down block to set that edge, to turn him to the corner. Great read by Swope as well.
When your fullback is in middle school and runs off the field and the coach has to jump to high-five him, it's a good sign. That's the guy who needs to carry the ball inside the 5.
Good speed.
There is the try for point. Cameron Welch knocks it up and through, and 2:55 left to play in the opening period. The red team, 7-0.
That's a nice sustained drive down the field. Nice job of mixing up pass and run. Nice long pass to the big tight end down the field on the completion. Ran the ball well. Good job by the offensive line, running backs, quarterbacks making some good reads. Now we got to see what Silver can answer back with, see if they can't get a good rhythm going here offensively.
It's their second possession. And it would appear they have gone with another quarterback. And penalty markers are down on the snap. Cameron Davis, quarterback from Mississippi. And we've got a penalty on the defense. So 1st and 5.
That defensive line's really trying to crowd the line of scrimmage.
Davis will hand off, and a fine defensive play puts a stop to that run. He handed the ball off to Casey Letty Walker, and Gavin Portillo was waiting for it.
Portillo does a great job, swims the center here. He's going to be in the backfield before the handoff is made. Tackle for a loss. Great job of anticipating the snap as you get a good look there at the young man.
High snap.
Does it again.
Great grab by Davis, and his pass is smacked right back at him. Penetration by the defensive line of Team Red.
Portillo again. That is textbook how to swim inside. If we get a look at a little bit of a high snap, no time to get rid of it. He says, get that out. He must be a center on the basketball team the way he rejected that shot.
Back-to-back fantastic plays.
Well, he does a great job of swimming to get penetration.
3rd down 9. Cameron Davis looks it over from the shotgun. He'll look right and throws over the head of his intended receiver. That'll bring up 4th down and 9.
Portillo may be a swimmer during the winter, I'm not sure, but once again gets more penetration up front. That rushes the quarterback, especially when you've got a defensive lineman who's 4 or 5 inches taller than the quarterback. He can't get a chance to get his vision downfield. Great play by that young man.
Punting situation. Silver team will put it back in play, and a catch and recovery at the 42-yard line. 7-0 Red. They get the ball right back, and you would hope that Silver could have put a couple of first downs together, get some kind of momentum, but to give that ball back 3 and out, not what they wanted to do.
Right, and you haven't given your defense much of a chance to get a rest here either. Kind of organize, talk to the defensive coordinator. They've got to come right back out on the field, and they've got to try to get a stop after giving up a touchdown the last possession.
Rest is important today. It is well over 90 degrees here in Northeast Ohio.
And you said something earlier, Jeff, off the air, how some of these players coming from other different states that maybe don't have this type of weather, how they're feeling right here in Ohio.
Yeah, we have humidity here that they don't necessarily have in places like Arizona.
Where they say it's a dry heat, not so much.
Quarterback number 3 goes right to the air. Connor Stoddard, number 13, and a quarterback, and the catch by Peter Popovich, wide receiver from New Jersey, picks up 3.
Just really a long handoff there on the little swing pass.
Loses 3. Sorry. And right to the ground, over the 40 and close to the original line of scrimmage. Caden Watts.
Out of Arizona. Just an inside run there, tried to use a lead blocker, trying to pick up some yardage. Brings up what should be a passing situation at 3rd and 11.
You may hear on our microphones when Watts gets the ball, there's a little flurry of support. There's a couple of folks wearing Arizona gear that are right in front of us. I have a feeling they may know Watts. Back to throw is Stoddard. He's flushed, and he is in a heap and in some trouble. They will whistle him down at around the 36.
Call that a coverage sack. Nice play there by big number 63. It looks like Dawson Hubbard. No one. He looks long. Nothing there. Tries to flush out of the pocket. Does. They turn him back, but big number 63 is right there to make the play. Great coverage downfield by the secondary.
And a great answer by the Silver defense. We're going to get back off the field. Welch will punt. And the catch is made at the 45-yard line with 30 seconds remaining in quarter number 1.
See if Silver's got pretty good field position right here. Ball at the 45-yard line. Maybe they'll try to establish a run, but you got to locate where the big man is defensively out there, Portello, and try to run maybe away from him.
See what we get in terms of a quarterback. The Silver players all holding their hands up saying, we don't have a quarterback, coach.
Kind of a big part of the offense.
And finally, Zachary Harrison, another from Arizona, will come out to the field, and they will huddle up.
Once again, players here from 38 different states from around the country. This is the next step after this is playing for the national team, and that's really what these players want to do is they want to earn their stars and eventually play for the United States internationally in football.
It'd be quite an honor.
Well, that's one way to slow down the defensive rush, going a good hard snap count, try to draw them off sides. You want to try to get those defensive linemen on their heel. Another way to do it is to run some type of screen to slow down the defensive line.
Gavin Portillo on that defensive line for the red team has already made his mark.
We don't have heights and weights for him, but I would love to know the size of some of these players out there.
From midfield, they'll try the sweep.
Oh.
And some heavy hitting by the red team. Great penetration. He didn't quite make the play, but he certainly blew it up. Gianpolo, or that's Cody Radcliffe, was in there. 71.
Missed him in the backfield, but coming up is big number 54, Kendrick Sneed Jr. out of Tennessee comes up to make the play.
Loss of 2. And now whistle stop play because we are out of time in quarter number 1. We've played 1 here in Massillon, Ohio. Team Red 7. Team Silver nothing. Step aside, second quarter begins in a moment.
What does it take to become elite? It takes more than dedication, focus, and hard work. It takes an elite-level training program. Customized, sport-specific, online. Your perfect workout every time. That's Volt Athletics.
7-0 as we head to the second quarter. Jeff Shreve, Troy Richardson, and Troy, everything we expected out of quarter number one. Hard hitting, and the heat's not really a factor at this point.
No, not yet. I don't think that'll become a factor till later on in the second half. Got to give these coaches credit. They've done a nice job of rotating players in and out, trying to keep fresh players on the field. I was talking with a couple of coaches in between games, and they said one of the key words in this is developmental. They're trying to improve these players. They want these players to be better football players at the end of camp than they were at the start of camp. They're trying to get them better. There's no championship out here. As one coach said, hey, in 3 weeks I got to start worrying about wins and losses. Today I'm just trying to make players better.
And movement in the backfield will cost them 5 yards. Well, I know this. I don't know if they'll all be better, but they'll all be lighter because they're going to sweat off a lot of weight.
Yeah, they're going to be some tired. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to be tired too. On some of the car rides, some of these parents driving, they're going to get some pretty good sleep tonight.
Second down, 13. High snap. Harrison brings it down. He's in the clutches, tries to swing it out, and they are all over that play again.
He does a nice job on the high snap of evading the initial tackler, gets rid of it, but right there to come up and make the play is number 52, Brock Swanson for the red team. Does a nice job of making another tackle for a loss.
Nice catch over there by Jacob Ryder. He knew that the defense was coming, still looked the ball in.
That's good concentration.
Third down, 18. Harrison will swing it out. Catch is made
Nice
by
job.
Vance up the sideline, and he did not quite get first down yardage. Got into their half of the football field at the 48.
Well, it looked like they had the angle on Vance, but he does a nice job sprinting to the sideline. You're going to see him here. He's outside the hash. He's going to get even quicker to the sideline. Runs by one man. They think they got the angle on him. Manages to pick up an extra 4 or 5 yards when another player, a little slower, might have gotten tackled. Great job there by Vance.
Gain of 15 yards sets up 4th and 3. And the Silver team will punt it away. Good kick. Over the shoulder grab inside the 25, mark it at the 24. The red team will go back on offense, playing field position. Thought maybe around midfield, 4th and 3, might give it a shot. Just try to get something going, but it is early.
Trying to jumpstart the offense a little bit. Now the defense has had a little bit of break. Silver was able to get a couple of first downs, see what they can do here. Also see what adjustments the red team makes with maybe some different personnel this possession.
It looks like Higgins. Is Higgins back at quarterback? No, we've got a totally new guy in there. Michael Riami. Swings it out to the right side.
And nice stick. That's one of the best hits I've seen there. And that's going to try to get a number on it. Just a little swing pass to the sideline. Gets it out there, but as soon as he catches it, he just gets drilled. That's a truck. That's number 30 coming down the tracks. That's Kivion McCory out of South Carolina. Nice tackle by the corner.
To the ground. Fumble. Silver's got it. 40-yard line. Kiefer lost the handle at the 35, and the recovery, Brandon Kamisic out of Illinois.
And that's something to get your offense sparked. That's the defense coming up with a big play, getting a turnover. Look there, initially he's got 2 hands on it. And he's getting contact, now he pops the hand away. Nice job of getting the strip there by the defense. You know contact's coming, you gotta cover up both ends of the football. But there you see the young man there with a fumble recovery, great play. Well, Silver's got good field position to start here with the ball at the 40-yard line.
Second quarter just underway. And the Silver team down by a touchdown. There's a swing pass. Holt Reese hooks up with a receiver who's up the sideline. Stopped just shy of a first down, near the 30-yard line. We'll see where they put the ball down.
Number 26 there for Silver. That's Jacob Ryder out of California.
He's a long way from home.
Does a nice job tucking the ball away. Little move right there, holds on to it. Good job picking up some extra yardage. Second about 1.
Grease. And back to the ground game, and there's that man again. Gavin Portillo, 64 red. Again, he's in the silver backfield.
Yeah, they might think he's a running back at some point. He's dancing in the backfield so much. You see him get right in the screen. As soon as that handoff's made, he may take a handoff by the time this game's over. He is right there to make the play. That is a quick, look how he crowds the line of scrimmage there from that kind of three technique position.
Reese wants to throw.
There again.
Portillo's got a hand on him and wraps him up at midfield. He got through the line. He got through the running back.
He's just there like,
all over it.
I call that a Saturday, guys. Gets through the initial line of scrimmage. He comes right in your picture. Look at the running back try to come up and stone him. He doesn't have anything to do with that. If you're a running back and you've got a big man, you've got to come up and you've got to attack him. You've got to stun him right there. He's delivering the blow. You've got to deliver the blow to him.
4th and 19, and Silver will punt. Ball rolls inside the 20 and is grabbed at the 15 or 16-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
I love seeing the defensive line play, the offensive line play. That's something that doesn't get a lot of credit in football, but you win the game in the trenches. That's where the game is decided. And right now the red team has done a nice job offensively, controlling the line of scrimmage, and Portillo has done a great job of controlling the defensive line of scrimmage as well, as you get a look there at that young man.
Priami still at quarterback, and they'll try the right side, and I think that is in fact Kiefer. So Kiefer fumbled on his last carry. They went right back to him again.
Chase Farley in on that tackle along with Dawson Hubbard for the defense.
Kiefer's been effective on every touch. Even the one he fumbled, he was already 12 yards down the field.
Just got to cover up all the points of the football. Ball security is job security.
Priami will throw. That's way too tall for his intended mark. Gunnar Hensley, wide receiver from California.
Number 32 in on the coverage there. That's Simpkins out of Maryland. Priami there just needs to step into the throw a little bit stronger and get that lead foot pointed better at the wide receiver.
Well, 7-0 red team trying to add to it. Priami does a good job to pull down a high snap. Rolls and throws incomplete.
Priami just did a great job, as you said, Jeff, just avoiding a sack there with a little bit of mishandle on the snap, kind of high, had to climb the ladder to get it. Manages to get rid of the ball, brings up a punting situation. You know, one thing Jim Tressel always talked about is, hey, we reserve the right to punt. Don't turn it over trying to make something out of nothing. Always reserve that right to punt to try to earn some field position.
We are slowly inching our way down the field in favor of the Silver team when you talk about field position.
Trying to just keep tilting the playing field.
They started their last drive right around the 40, and that's going to be the case here. Officially the 42, I believe. Well, the Silver team back to work.
See if they can come up for an answer for the big defensive lineman, Portillo.
Cameron Davis back in at quarterback. Not a lot of huddling here. For a middle school team, that's rare, but they really want to get more reps.
They want to get more reps. They want to get all the players reps, which is important. See what different players can do. You want to get a good look at all of them. Thursday night, they had the Jamboree, had a chance to watch it. Some excellent football being played over there. But what I like is these coaches have simplified the playbook. 4 or 5 different passing plays, 4 or 5 different run plays. Keep it very simple. Go with the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Here's a toss sweep to the right side. It'll be first down yardage. Out of bounds at around the 25-yard line.
Number 28 with a nice carry. Does a nice job there. Looking to keep the ball high and tight. He is not losing that football. I believe that's Thompson. And you just see him step out there. That is number 28. Yeah, Christopher Thomas. I'm sorry, Christopher Thomas.
He gets the call again. And Thomas cuts it back over the 20. Great pickup on first down to the 19-yard line.
Thomas, a very explosive and dynamic running back, can cut and shows good power. Once he plants that foot and gets his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, he accelerates to the next level.
Cameron Davis. This is Jake Vance up the sideline, out of bounds. He'll have first down yardage. They'll put it down right at the 10 and set up first down goal to go.
Well, you're going to see a nice block here, I believe, by number 26, Jacob Ryder, on the little bubble screen. Yeah, you see him there at the little kick-out block. Davis has to hurdle him, but if he doesn't pick up that block, the play doesn't work. And that's what I like to see. What do you do when you don't get the football? How well do you block when you don't get the ball, when you're not getting that touch? It's easy to try to make a play when you have the ball in your hands, but what are you doing when you don't have that football? How are you playing? And right there, you see that young man does a great job of playing without the football.
USA Football is proud to partner with Volt Athletics to provide U.S. national team athletes with cutting-edge strength and conditioning programs. Volt provided the U.S. national team athletes with 8 weeks of free training to prepare them for this moment.
Got a timeout here. Both teams trying to regroup.
So now the yardage coming in big chunks for the Silver team. What adjustments have they made?
Well, they got a little bit different running back in there. Instead of trying to throw the ball as much, they're doing a nice job of the backs bouncing it to the outside, a little bit better vision, trying to see where the hole's developing. The offensive line is also doing a much better job of coming off as a unit. At first, they were kind of coming off as a typewriter, one at a time. And yeah, for some of our younger viewers out there, you can look up what a typewriter is. But now they're coming off more like that laser jet printer, if that sounds better.
That turns some heads in the press box when you drop that one in. First down, goal to go at the 10-yard line. Silver team down 7-0, looking to tie it up.
Good fundamental play out of all these teams.
Thomas, the setback next to the quarterback. Davis, a fumble. Ball is loose, picked up by Thomas, and he'll be wrapped up for a loss back to the 21.
Snead once again in on the tackle, but just a bad snap. You should see Snead there. He just comes barreling down the tracks. Low snap, gets bobbled, tries to scoop it up, kicks it away. Then it's just a mad rush for the football. Good heads-up play, just falling on the ball and not losing possession.
How about the penetration by the red team? There were 5 of them there. Here's a quick pitch to Vance. Works his way inside the 15. And is driven out of bounds by Portillo.
Portillo coming from the defensive line position. He's gone sideline to sideline as a big defensive lineman. Once again, hey, Ryder's there to make another block. But look at him coming downfield. Good pursuit. And I love it. Whenever the tackle's made, you want to pause it and see how many of the defensive jerseys are in there. When you got 6 or 7 jerseys in the picture frame, you know you're getting good defensive pursuit.
Davis wants to throw over the middle. Great catch and a touchdown. Jake Vance pulls the Silver team within 1.
Great strike, but a nice choice route here, reading how the defender is playing them. See if we can get a replay on this. He's going to be at the top of your screen in the slot position. Defender plays from the outside. He just cuts right in. Great pass as well. Right by the defender's ear, just whizzes it by. Throws it in that tight window, much like you would see a Brett Favre do. Does a nice job of just putting it right through the window.
And not an ounce of fear going over the middle in that situation.
And usually, you know, dragging across that middle, you know a free safety is waiting to put the licking on you.
Now Silver will look to tie the football game. There is no rush on a kick. You can get the ball exactly the way you want it.
Help him out a little bit.
I've never seen this on an extra point.
This is definitely a kicker.
Ball is up, and it is wide left. So with 4:05 left to play first half, it is a 7-6 ball game. Silver pulls within 1 on a very impressive drive on a short field.
Yeah, Silver does a nice job of answering. They get a few first downs together. They avoid a couple of bad snaps, could have been turnovers. They regroup, and that's the one thing, as you said, no fear, Jeff. You've got to put that last play behind you, and you've got to try to win the next play. Hey, everyone's going to make mistakes in a game. You got to look at football. It's a game of mini battles. Every play is a battle. And to win the war, you've got to win more battles than what your opponent does. And right now, Silver has done a nice job of showing mental toughness and answering the call and answering back.
And a good look at Jake Vance getting a drink on the sideline. He's from Indiana. He's used to this environment.
Yeah, they've had some heat in Indiana as well, and getting a well-deserved break.
35-yard line. Back to work, the red team. B.J. Higgins at quarterback. He'll hand off, and he'll go for a yard.
He's stacked up there by a host of defenders. Looked to be Coleman maybe in there for the defense, and Brody Durara as well out of Colorado making the tackle.
Higgins wants to throw, does throw, swings it out to Popowich, and that'll go for no gain. 3rd down 9 coming up for red.
Once again, good pursuit there by the Silver team. Looked like number 63 was in there on the tackle. Dawson Hubbard, number 53. Brandon Kimmick as well out of Illinois.
3rd and 9. I think maybe 3rd and 4.
Yeah, you can't let the offense off the hook. When it's 3rd and 9, as a defensive player, you know you're pinning your ears back a little bit. You're licking your chops. You know it's a passing situation. Now you can open up that playbook a little bit more when you're looking at 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
From the 40, Higgins took his eye off the snap. He'll have to fall on it. That'll be a loss of 5 or 6. Brings up 4th and 10.
And you said it, Jeff. He just wanted to get a little bit ahead of himself. He's kind of anxious out there. When you're in that shotgun snap, you got to look the ball in the whole way. Takes his eye off. You know what his coach is telling him? Hey, made a mistake. Next time, go get it back. Just put this one away. That's getting some good coaching there from the sideline from the coach out of UMass Dartmouth.
Cameron Welch. Ball checks up and will be downed at midfield.
Kind of looked like one of your pitches there.
Except the checkup part. Mine roll off the back down the hill.
Finds the bunker in the back.
2:26 left to play until halftime. An interesting situation here from midfield. Coming off a score, the Silver team.
Yeah, see if they can get some more points up on the board. Last time they did it from about the 42-yard line. Now they're about 8 yards deeper. See if they can't put something together here. Get a good look there at the P at 50-yard line here at Perry.
Some trouble. Zachary Harrison looking for room and won't find any. Cody Radcliffe finally wrapped him up for a loss.
I'm going to tell you, the reason they get this sack is there's no one open there because it is great defense by the corner. You're not going to see him in your picture, but I believe that was number 83 out there, Gunnar Hensley, with the defensive player on the jam, not allowing the receiver to get off the line of scrimmage.
Harrison looks left, throws left, incomplete.
One would fall on that. You never know what a referee's going to call if he says that's a lateral.
Through the hands of the intended receiver, and it was very close to being a lateral.
You got to play till that whistle blows because you never know what an official's going to call.
Mike Baker, the intended receiver. 3rd and 16.
Haven't heard from the big man in the middle for a few plays.
Penalty markers. And we've got a procedure call on red. That'll cost them 5 yards, 3rd down and 21.
Silver gets backed up again. And this is where it's dangerous with the defensive line play that the red team has shown with their ability to get penetration, because right now they're just going to pin their ears back. You might want to try some type of screen, some type of draw to try to find the seam here, something to keep these linemen off their heels.
Penalty on the Silver team cost them 5 yards. Under 2 minutes remaining, first half. Harrison. They will go with a sweep. This is Walker, Letty Walker. They'll get back to the original line of scrimmage near the 50-yard line. And a 4th down and 10 play coming up for Silver.
And here's going to come another punt. You're going to take a look at it here. Just a little outside zone read, almost a jet action there. Just tries to find the end, get a chance to turn it upfield, reads his blockers well. Manages to pick up 9 yards, but not enough for a first down. Looks like we've
stoppage of play.
Yeah, timeout on the field. Both teams here, as we'd like to thank our good friends at Just Play Sports. That's Just Play Sports on the Just Play Sports timeout. For your sports solutions, go to Just Play Sports. Don't forget to check out Big Time Sports on Twitter at BTS Ohio. That's at BTS Ohio. You can also like us on Facebook, Big Time Sports Ohio. We'll have pictures up from all the games. I know I've been tweeting at some of the players this week I saw play at the Jamboree, some of the excellent standouts we've seen. And you know what? It's hard to pick out just one or two players from each team because there's just so much talent on the field, Jeff, when you've got players coming from all around the country. And first, before they even got to this camp, they had to be selected from a 2-day combine just to get the opportunity to come to this camp, Jeff.
There's a lot of football at the middle school level. Quite a commitment.
Oh, yeah. You talk to some of the youth coaches out there that have their teams travel nationally, and they're playing a lot of games in the summer as well.
From the 49-yard line, the punt. A line drive spiral. It's gathered in at the 27-yard line. So the red team takes over with just 1:27 remaining. And the young man that led them to their only score back at quarterback.
Well, they've got 2 timeouts yet, minute 27 to go on the clock. They might be able to get something going here. Pistol formation.
Kiefer spins at the 30, hits the 31.
Kiefer does a nice job following his blockers. Look maybe like some type of ISO play right up the middle, manages to pick up 5 yards. You don't have to get it in 50-yard chunks, though that is always nice.
Silver won the coin toss and deferred to the second half, so they will get the ball to start the third period. Kiefer can't find any room up the middle, and he'll lose a yard.
Nice play there by the big defensive lineman, number 60 for the Silver team. That's Chase Farley. We've called his number a few times tonight. He gets the stuff right at the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 3rd and 7.
Red team going to use a timeout with 50 seconds remaining.
Now you got to get the first down because you know Silver's probably going to call a timeout, try to get the ball back with Upper Deck, the official sports card of USA Football.
And this timeout.
Yep. I remember collecting Upper Deck baseball cards when I was a little kid, way back in the day. I think it was the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. That was an extremely valuable one when I was younger.
Well, he was a good one.
Definitely one of the top. Baseball season. It's hard to believe, Jeff. Here in Ohio, football practice starts in less than 10 days. August 1st being the first day official practice when 2-a-days can start at the high school level.
Baseball season just starting to bubble at the MLB level. 50 seconds left. It's 3rd and 8. Red team with a 1-point lead right now, 7-6. Not a lot of wind to speak of. Well, they will go to the air, down the sideline. That's a wobbler. It's picked off. A return over the 40-yard line. They've got blocking set up and a penalty marker down on a bad block. Will negate most of this return as they wrap him up at the 20-yard line. The interception on the play by Kevion McCrory. And I think we had a bad block on the return. We'll see.
Well, they're going to get him for a block in the back because he actually, I think, levels 2 Red players here. It's one of the linemen. I think, seeing right there, he tries to pick up a couple of blocks there. Can't get his number. You know what? He's going to get called for the block in the back, but that's an effort play. He's playing 100 miles an hour, trying to make something out of nothing. Nice job there. You know, that's the thing you can correct, but you got to love the effort. If you're a coach and a young player makes that mistake, that's a mistake you can live with because he's trying to make a play. So good job there. Once again, when the offense has had trouble, the Silver defense has really done a nice job of picking them up, getting turnovers.
The Silver team now has a free shot at it. We told you they get the ball to start the second half. There's no reason not to throw the ball down the field a couple of times here and see if you can make something happen.
You got 2 timeouts. You got single coverage, I think, on Dawson at the lower half of your screen to the field side. Looks like a little cover 2 action.
Holt Reese back at quarterback. He is hit as he throws. That's incomplete. 3 guesses as to who was on his back.
And I'm not going to give you the first 2 guesses there. Portillo again, just barreling down. He's going to be right in your picture right there. And I like when he goes to make the tackle, he's swinging that arm down. That's how you're taught as a defensive lineman. When that quarterback's got his arm up, you want to swipe your arm down to try to cause the fumble. That's good defensive line. That's a good technician right there from the defensive line position.
Portillo just switched sides from right to left and rolling that way. Looking is Reese. He will run and scoot out of bounds just shy of the 35 with 19 seconds left. They'll mark it at the 35.
They're going to give him the first down, but a good heads-up play there by Reese. He knew what he had to get for the first down, and he knew he also had to get out of bounds. But he does a nice job. He's getting motivated there by Portillo to run. But he's going to show the leg, take it away. He's going to cut it back, but realizes, hey, there's the first down. Get out of bounds, pick it up, stop the clock. Now they're going to stand Portillo up.
Deep. Well thrown ball inside the 5. It's broken up. He tried to hook up with Jake Vance. That was a nice pass from a middle school quarterback, Coach.
That was a beautiful tight spiral. Folks, watch this. This is pretty to watch in the air. That is as tight a spiral as you're going to see. But I think that Stoddard, the free safety, rotates over from the cover 2 to knock the ball away. There you see Stoddard there. Connor Stoddard, they got him listed as a quarterback out of California, but a great job.
That might have been Barnes. He also wears the same number.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think that probably is Barnes there. Bryce Barnes out of Virginia. There is a double number there. Great play by Bryce Barnes. On the flip give timeout. I'd like to thank our good friends at Flip Give, sponsoring the timeout. As we got 12 seconds to go here on the clock, ending up the first half. I tell you, that was a good defensive play there made by Barnes. Bryce Barnes coming up with a defensive play. Rotates over from that free safety position.
As a proud partner of USA Football, Flip Give helped several U.S. national team athletes raise money to participate. Shop online, raise money. It's that easy. Sign up today at usafootball.flipgive.com. Second down, 10. 12 seconds left. Reese fires. This is Vance, shakes a tackle inside the 20, and they ride him out of bounds at the 15 with 4 seconds left. Now, field goals are able to happen here, right?
Yeah, you got to check to see what type of kicker you got. That's just a little swing pass out of the spread, just really a long handoff. Does a nice job getting to the sidelines, gets out of bounds. But hey, you're at the 15-yard line. You got enough time for one play. It's a great position to be at.
And now Silver will use a timeout, and they'll talk over a 1st and 10 call at the 15.
Great job by Silver there answering the call to get the drive down to the 15-yard line.
St. Vincent Sports Performance is proud to support the U.S. national team and provide our athletes with world-class sports medicine care. St. Vincent Sports Performance staff are expert nutritionists, certified athletic trainers, and sports medicine doctors based in Indianapolis. St. Vincent Sports Performance professionals travel across the United States and the world to give the U.S. national team members the highest level of sports medicine care. Learn more about St. Vincent Sports Performance at definingsportsperformance.com.
It's interesting you mentioned St. Vincent's. Had some friends of mine were watching the game. They were collegiate runners, ran in college, track and field, one qualified for the Olympic trials in the marathon, and he actually went to St. Vincent's for some therapy and some training as well a couple of years ago. Was recommended by his wife, who's from the Indianapolis area.
So 4 seconds left in the half. Happy to report the clouds have moved out of the way, and we are buried in sunshine.
Bright, sunshiny day. And we're not in full pads either.
We are not. Holt Reese has the ball, rolls right, throws, it is incomplete. And that's the end of the first half. Again, it was Portillo who had a piece of the quarterback. He tried as hard as he could to sling it out. The receiver had room to run, but that's a tough play by the quarterback.
Yeah, nice job of flushing him out of the pocket.
At the half, the red team 7, team silver 6.
Heads Up Football is the best, and in fact the only good way I know of changing the culture.
It's really been about creating a safer environment for our kids.
Being the pilot program for Heads Up Football and me being the first player safety coach, it's completely changed everything.
We're looking around going, why aren't we all doing this? There is nothing here that fundamentally changes the game of football. There's nothing here that we're not currently teaching. We're just teaching it in 25 different ways. And ultimately, there's the potential that we see a return, that we're making the game safer.
Everything evolves, everything grows, and this is the right thing, the most responsible thing to do. As a league administrator, I mean, I can't even imagine a program that doesn't do it.
They adopted this because they love the game. But also, in a couple of years, the youth become high school players. It's an evolving project.
Heads Up Football has changed the way we play. It's changed the way we practice, and it's changed the perception in the moms and dads.
We have one consistent match of what we're talking about and how we're teaching our athletes to play the game. From ankle biter through 12th grade, we have one consistent curriculum.
The continuity of the program at the youth level, executed all the way through the high school level, is so very important to the parent.
It's kind of part of the fabric of what we do and how we coach now. This just helped us be a better staff and a better community.
First and foremost, we've had fewer head injuries.
We have seen a sound decrease in concussions, in collision injuries.
We're able to show with data that there's a difference. You know, Centerville High School played in back-to-back state championships and had the fewest injuries of our 25 high schools. That's a big deal.
It makes me feel better because I know that my son is safer.
He would come home and show us the stuff that he's learning. I just felt great about that. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad Heads Up Football is teaching you that.
We're making tackles now that maybe we wouldn't have made a few years ago, just because we constantly hammer in the basics.
Through Heads Up Tackling, I definitely am a better player and a better tackler.
Our generation is getting taught a different way to tackle, like this is the right way.
I think that it's starting to really pay off because our numbers, we're up 40 kids, which is huge.
Wanting safer football is absolutely the right thing for kids.
Do this. Do it yesterday, both from the youth club level and then from the high school levels, because this is only making this a better game, better, safer game.
Heads Up Football is the best, and in fact the only good way I know of changing the culture.
It's really been about creating a safer environment for our kids.
Being the pilot program for Heads Up Football and me being the first player safety coach, it's completely changed everything.
We're looking around going, why aren't we all doing this? There is nothing here that fundamentally changes the game of football. There's nothing here that we're not currently teaching. We're just teaching it in 25 different ways. And ultimately, there's the potential that we see a return, that we're making the game safer.
Everything evolves, everything grows, and this is the right thing, the most responsible thing to do. As a league administrator, I mean, I can't even imagine a program that doesn't do it.
They adopted this because they love the game. But also, in a couple of years, the youth become high school players. It's an evolving project.
Heads Up football has changed the way we play. It's changed the way we practice, and it's changed the perception in the moms and dads.
We have one consistent match of what we're talking about and how we're teaching our athletes to play the game. From ankle biter through 12th grade, we have one consistent curriculum.
The continuity of the program at the youth level, executed all the way through the high school level, is so very important to the parent.
It's kind of part of the fabric of what we do and how we coach now. It's just helped us be a better staff and a better community.
First and foremost, we've had fewer head injuries.
We have seen a sound decrease in concussions, in collision injuries.
We're able to show with data that there's a difference. You know, Centerville High School played in back-to-back state championships and had the fewest injuries of our 25 high schools. That's a big deal.
It makes me feel better because I know that my son is safer.
He would come home and show us the stuff that he's learning. I just felt great about that. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad Heads Up Football is teaching you that.
We're making tackles now that maybe we wouldn't have made a few years ago, just because we constantly hammer in the basics.
Through Heads Up tackling, I definitely am a better player and a better tackler.
Our generation is getting taught a different way to tackle, like this is the right way.
I think that it's starting to really pay off because our numbers, we're up 40 kids, which is huge.
Wanting safer football is absolutely the right thing for kids.
Do this. Do it yesterday, both from the youth club level and then from the high school levels, because this is only making this a better game, better, safer game.
So at St. Vincent Sports Performance, whether we're talking about Olympic athletes or middle school and high school athletes, the foundation is the same. We want to remove dysfunction and then build upon their sport-specific movements to allow them to function at a very high level on and off the field.
What does it take to become elite? It takes more than dedication, focus, and hard work. It takes an elite-level training program. Customized, sport-specific, online. Your perfect workout every time. That's Volt Athletics.
Halftime at Perry Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. Jeff Shreve and Troy Richardson and the Silver team and the Red team. The Red team scored on their second possession. Silver team scored in the second period. No good on the extra point. We're one score apiece in a 1-point game.
You know, you look at it, you think 7-6, not very exciting, but I think we've seen, you know, great action on both sides of the ball for both teams, Jeff. You've got good defensive line play, great play in the secondary, offensive line play that's been excellent, great vision by the quarterbacks. We saw one of the best passes I've seen at this level in a long time, only to be broken up by a great defensive play as well. We've seen some great runs. We've got some fans here. They got the shade up. Try to take care of it in the 98-degree heat here at Perry Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. See the Red team wandering back over to the field.
Well, the story for me in the first half, the defensive line of Team Red, in particular, the play of Gavin Portillo.
Portillo just so quick, out of Texas. I look at how he swims so well for a player that young, and I know he's a taller player, so it's a little bit easier for them to do that move because he'll have a little bit of leverage. He's going to want to add a couple more moves to his repertoire. He's going to want to get a good rip move as well, possibly club. That was a big one of Lawrence Taylor. I know a couple other defensive ends have used a push-pull method as well, coming off the edge. He's going to want to develop 3 or 4 different moves, but he's so good at anticipating the snap count. He has such a quick first step. He's got good leverage over top of the smaller guards and tackles, but he's someone you've got to account for every play.
Which brings us to Team Silver. How do they account for him, and what adjustments do they need to make?
Well, you know, in a game where you have a chance to prepare for a day or two, you might run a check play, find out where he's lined up, check the play to the opposite side, because he has shown the ability to get there on swing passes, go sideline to sidelines. You always want to make sure, you know, you've got him double teamed, whether he's playing in a 5 technique or a 3 technique, know where he's at. Try to, at some point, depending on where your matchups are, run away from him as well.
He is lined up on the inside here on the first play of the second half.
And when I say 3 technique, I mean the outside shoulder of the guard. Here it looks like he's just playing an A gap between the guard and center.
Cameron Davis at quarterback. They will hand off on play number 1. And rambling around the corner, very close to a Silver first down in the arms of David Tunis, running back from New Jersey.
Great running alley set up for Tunis here to the outside. He's going to pick up a big block here from the wide receiver in the lower part of your screen. You're just going to see his top of his helmet there. But setting up that alley for him to run, that's for him able to pick up the extra 2-3 yards, enough for the first down.
Bryce Barnes forced him out of bounds. Second down. I should say 1st and 10. The box says 2. Tunis will try the other side. He cuts it back. He runs over a safety. He's got plenty of first down yardage. He is still rolling inside the 30, down to the 28. An electrifying run by David Tunis.
Well, when that safety comes up, Tunis has got a good head of steam there. A little bit of a zone read. They're going to get to the outside. Boom. Puts the foot down, squares his shoulder. Here comes the safety. Tunis doesn't slow down. He just trucks him, puts a foot in his chest, keeps going, got his momentum going. But I love with Tunis, when he felt contact, his feet kept flying as he kept running downhill. Great run by that young man.
There's a pass to the left side. Going to work is Jake Vance, who's had a great day. He's up the sideline and in for a touchdown. Just that quick, the Silver team right down the field to take the lead.
Well, Vance's run's going to get set up by a great block here by Jacob Ryder, who Vance does a good job of reading Ryder's block. There you see at the top of the screen, he gets that kick out block. He's going to cut it right off his hip. Now he's just going to beat him to the sidelines, beat him to the pylon. Great catch and run. Great execution by Team Silver.
Second touchdown pass of the day for Cameron Davis, both of them to Vance. And now they try for point. A low line drive, and it is no good. So with 9:09 left to play, it took them 51 seconds to go down the field and take the lead at 12-7.
4 plays, 51 seconds, 65 yards, just took it right down the field very quickly. And we thought early on, you know, Red had everything going offensively, defensively. They got a 7-0 lead, but Silver's answered back with 2 touchdowns, and they've got a bigger lead here in the second half. See if Red can get something going here offensively on their first possession of the second half.
Red will answer with Connor Stoddard at quarterback, young man from California. Luke Kiefer, he's had a pretty nice day. He will be one of the running backs. And he'll be joined by Caden Watts. And Watts will get the ball straight ahead, 40-yard line. Gain of 5, second down 5.
Nothing fancy there from Watts, just a straight ahead run, a straight ahead power football. Something that's been kind of a lost art in the last few years with teams gone spread, and that's one of the issues some of the colleges and NFL teams are having with their offensive linemen on how to down block because they're so used in zone blocking.
They go back again to Watts, and he runs into a wall at the 42. Sets up 3rd and 3 for the Red.
Well, Red's looking to establish their run here, maybe trying to get some type of play action pass here, try to get the linebackers getting a little too nosy.
Watts is out. And Cameron Swope is about the size of 3 Caden Watts. Now in at fullback. 3rd and 3. They shift. Stoddard wants to throw and lost the handle. It's incomplete. He wanted to hook up with Kyle Wilson II, who was open, but the ball looked like it slipped out of the quarterback's hands.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to look that grip in a little bit harder there when you're trying to make that pass. And I think he knew he was going to be open. I think he was expecting him to slant in harder than just kind of wait there for the stop pass.
Red team sets to punt. Cameron Welch. He'll do the honors. Ball fielded near the 35-yard line, so the Silver team, 1 possession, 1 touchdown. They get the ball back again. Red needs to make a little adjustment. It looks like the Silver team had a discussion and calling some plays to go away from the strength of that defensive line.
Yeah, that's a pretty good defensive line, and they're recognizing some things there. Great job of making some halftime adjustments. That's a big part of the game of football is, you know, see what happens the first half. I think it was Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan till you get punched in the jaw, and then things change. Well, you know, Silver got punched in the jaw. Now they've made some adjustments, and they've done a nice job on a 12-0 run.
Drive starts at the 35-yard line. Zachary Harrison at quarterback. He'll swing it out. And first down, very close to first down yardage. It's like Baker.
Well, Dylan Leach is going to make the initial hit here. Dylan Leach does a nice job of shedding the blocker to come up, make the play. Just needs to keep his feet, keep his heads up a little bit better, and he'll make that tackle. Good pursuit there by number 54, Sneed Jr. But hey, Leach, not very big right now, but does a nice job of fighting off the blocker.
Harrison hands off. This will go for a first down over the 45 to the 46. Penalty markers are down, however, on the far side.
I think we might have a face mask penalty. Yeah, personal foul, face mask on the defense. Now see their outside zone. Tries to get the perimeter. There you see the face mask. Finally gets stood up. Getting in on the tackle is Popowich out of New Jersey.
Ball positioned at the 39-yard line. High snap. Hand off. This is Thomas. He breaks the 30 and may have another first down as he comes to rest at the 27. 1st and 10.
Does manage to pick up the first down. You know, see here, just once again, same play as the last couple of times. Just sits a little bit tighter since he's into the boundary. Nice hole. Good job of blocking by that right side of the Silver offensive line. Good job of coming off the football well.
Harrison throws to the right side. Weaving his way over the 25 and out of bounds at the 20-yard line is Baker.
Here's just that little bubble screen. They're going to fake to the wide side of the field. Quarterback's going to do a nice job of wheeling and dealing. Back to the short side. Good kick out block. Sheds one tackle there. Manages to get upfield, pick up a few yards after contact. Those yak yards after catch. Does a nice job of picking up some more yardage. Makes it 2nd and 3.
My apologies. That was Ryder on the catch. Here's a throw over the middle. Too tall for the intended receiver. And it will fall incomplete. Trying to hook up about the 12-yard line. That would have been good enough for a first down.
And when you start leaving those passes a little high in this situation, that gives that secondary in a cover 2 situation chance to rotate over and get the picks, especially off a tip.
2nd down, 10. And we've got an official stoppage. A timeout will be used by the Silver team.
Timeout called by Silver. You see the coaches giving some instructions there to the Silver team as we're at Perry Stadium. Get a good look there at Perry Stadium here on the glossy finish timeout.
The official photographers of USA football.
Seen them around the stadium today. Part of Life Touch. They are everywhere. I know if you want to find out more about USA football, check them out on the web at usafootball.com. usafootball.com. International football is growing more and more. Australia, they've got over 15,000 people playing football, men and women. You look at France, 20,000. Germany's got a pretty good pro league. France has a player, Anthony Deblis, played last year in the World Championships. Jeff, I think we did one of his games.
Yes.
Signed with the New York Giants. International football for American football is getting bigger and bigger every day.
Back to the ground game. Thomas, he'll have the first down inside the 15.
And when you talk about USA football, you always think of boys for football. USA football has a women's division too that plays internationally as well. And you can also find that on the web at usafootball.com.
Impressive drive by the Silver team. It's their second possession of the second half. They scored on the first. Harrison gives to Thomas. Ball tucked in, heading around the left side, inside the 10, and runs out of bounds near the 6.
Nice toss sweep there. Kind of takes a snap, almost a shovel pitch out of it. Trying to get to the perimeter, trying to get to the sideline. Good read there. Use your speed. Use what you're good at. And he's good at, look at it, gets the ball high and tight, gets it to his outside arm, is able to give a stiff arm, picks up an extra block, get inside the 5-yard line.
Second down, 2 yards to go. High snap brought down by the quarterback. He'll hand off. Thomas goes straight ahead. Sets up first and goal at the 1.
Thomas going to be a little short of the first of the goal line. Not going to waste any time huddling up. Pretty good sized young man there. Hard to believe we're looking at middle school players, Jeff.
They're not that big in my neighborhood. Another high snap. Great job by Harrison. Messed up the timing, and he will get very acquainted with the entire defensive line.
Yeah, he didn't have to wait long there to get tackled by about 1,000 pounds of beef from that defensive line. Does a nice job of avoiding total disaster. Only losing 5 yards on that snap.
Second down, goal to go. Harrison fires. That's intercepted with room to run.
One man, he's got to get past one. He does.
Kendrick Sneed the second. Thomas is chasing, and he grabs him from behind at the 20-yard line. Kendrick Sneed Jr. out of Tennessee.
We told you he was a player to watch, and he steps up big time from that inside linebacker position, jumps the route, steps up, climbs the ladder, makes the pick. He's got the angle of the sideline. I thought the quarterback, once he got by him, he's got 5 yards on Thomas. But look at the closing speed of Thomas to run him down from behind at about the 20-yard line. But a great pick and a great run by Sneed.
So the Silver team, who had first and goal at the 1, in a matter of 2 plays, it's now first and 10 the other way at the 19-yard line. And a quick pitch over the middle, that one's broken up.
Yeah, what would have been called an old pop pass back in the day, just trying to hit your tight end or slot man, whatever the formation is. Just trying to get in there, but a nice defensive play by number 60 on the Silver there. You fake the dive, just try to throw a little touch pass.
Chase Farley, the linebacker from Kansas, broke that one up. We've talked about Priami back at quarterback now for Red. Penalty markers are down. Procedure call on the Red team.
It's going to back him up 5 yards. Well, they don't want to shoot themselves in the foot here. You got a gift ball at the 20-yard line off a turnover. You want to try to score quickly.
Team Red scored on their second possession of the day and haven't had much since. Priami. Play action. He'll lob down the middle. It is caught by Kiefer in a crowd. First down, goal to go at the 4-yard line.
Same play as the one that got broken up. That time it's open. You're going to see the snap right here. You fake to the fullback. You just throw it up in the air. Hope your man gets behind him and does. They must have seen those Silver linebackers stepping up hard to respect the ISO action. That happens. There's no one there on the coverage.
Kiefer and Swope are the running backs. Priami will give the ball to Swope. And he is swarmed over at the 5.
And when you get a man that big carrying the football, you want to get to him early, as Farley did right there. You want to get to him before he gets ahead of steam going, and you want to tackle him low and drive through the tackle.
Second down, goal to go from the 5. We are under 3.5 minutes remaining, third period. USA Football National Development Camp. These are the games that they practice to play. Kiefer.
Fumble.
He lost the handle. Let's see if forward progress was blown dead. It was not blown dead. Here comes Silver out of the pile, and they've got the ball at the 19-yard line.
You've got, and it's an old cliche, you've got to play till the whistle blows. And there was no whistle blown. That's a turnover. Watch this here. Watch players, they bend over to get the ball. Bend over, dive for a loose ball. Okay, there's the football. People are looking at it. Oh, I'm going to bend over, get it. Nope. I'm going to bend. No, I'm going to dive in and get the ball. You see a loose ball, you stick your nose in there and you get it. And you better come up with it.
Chase Farley caused the fumble. He almost recovered the fumble. And now Silver gets the chance from the 19.
Just back-to-back turnovers here. First and goal situations, back and forth turnovers.
Now, we've got a trainer on the field.
I will defend a couple of those players out there for the Red. They were linemen, so they're not used to seeing that football thing down there, and they weren't quite sure what to do with it.
Back to work is Holt Reese. He will stiff arm his way to the 25, still going at the 30 and spins out of bounds near the 32. First down.
Good running there by Holt Reese. Stops on a dime, accelerates, stops on a dime again. Watch this. Direct snap. Here you're going to see him, boom, gets the outside, stiff arm. Okay, put my hand in your face. Stop on a dime. Okay, get by you. Hesitate again. I'll get by you. Spin again. Pick up another 2 yards.
I have a feeling it's not the last time that some of these guys are going to play on Saturday afternoons.
No.
It'll be a few years, but they'll be back.
Remember some of these names, folks.
There's probably a room full of guys in Texas watching footage of that guy. There's a quick handoff that goes actually for about a yard loss.
And there's definitely a lot of talent on this national competition.
We've talked at length about Portillo. He's from Texas, and so is Reese.
And they might end up playing against each other.
Bobbling catch on the far side and out of bounds at the 34-yard line for Team Silver. And once again, I think that's Ryder. He's been working that sideline pattern. Jake Vance has been on the other. Vance has 2 touchdowns for Silver.
Coach is having a little bit.
And 8. Reese, high snap, hit as he throws. It's almost intercepted. Again, Portillo in the.
Well, this time he doesn't swat it right in his face, but he does enough to disrupt him off the high snap. Hits him. Coleman out of North Carolina just can't come up with a pick.
43-yard line of the red team. In the third. If you want to be the best, you have to wear the best. Cutters football gloves and its grip technology are in a league of their own. Cutters football gloves, the official glove.
I had a chance to watch one of the sports science shows, and it talked about the technology that goes into gloves. It goes into development for Cutter gloves.
Higgins, line, but it will go as a loss of about 5 yards.
Number 70 there for the Stru brings him down from behind.
Starting to think there's
youth football out of Texas.
Back to the ground game for the red team. Clement McCullough free on the sideline. He stiff arms his way to the 30.
Hit to the left, but look at him here. Cuts to the outside, reads his blockers, tucks the ball away, sprints the
quarter. B.J. Higgins, second man through near the 25. That may very well be the final play of this period. We'll see.
I think it is.
Nobody's really in a hurry to snap the ball again. We have 8 seconds. Quarterback is having a discussion with the coach over by the 30.
I think they're probably in a hurry to get some water.
And that is the end of the third quarter. Timeout after 3. Silver 12, Red 7. 12-7 as we head to the fourth period.
12-7 here. You can start in the fourth period. You see both teams trying to take their time here. I think we might have a couple of equipment issues. And that's something else that goes into this, Jeff. All the equipment that these players need. That's a pretty big expense that goes into this game.
Here's Higgins with a pass that's incomplete. Running before the catch was Kyle Wilson.
Got to look that ball in all the way.
He'd like to have that one back.
I think he saw some daylight there as well. Well, last time Red got the ball inside the 30 like this, they turned it over. They got inside the 5. See what they can do here.
Higgins on 3rd and 5. They will hand off to McCullough. He works his way over the 20. 1st and 10, Team Red. 18-yard line.
Does a nice job of picking up the first down. Nice job of the red team keeping the ball on the ground as well. See a little bit of high snap, makes the adjustment, finds a seam. Good job of blocking up front by the offensive linemen, running their feet, getting low. Low man wins, getting good movement up front.
B.J. Higgins. He will hand the ball off to Watts. And Caden Watts gets a yard.
Not much there. Nice job by the linebacker stepping up hard for the Silver team. I think number 55 getting in there for the tackle. Colin Clegg out of Kansas.
Fourth quarter just underway. This is Watts again, 15, 13. Interesting call coming up, 3rd and 6.
And nothing fancy right there, just smash mouth football. Maybe they're trying to set up for that play action again. On that play they got the touchdown last time, hit their slot man right down the seam. Or they got him inside the 5.
Hard snap count. Higgins gives to Watts. And the Silver team right there waiting on him. He'll lose yardage to the 15.
Good penetration there by number 88. Bryson Lamp out of Virginia, or Washington, I'm sorry, just comes in, smashes them up.
4th down. Cameron Welch is on the field. And he looks like he's going to try a field goal in the neighborhood of 31 yards.
From a hash. No wind to speak of here.
No, it is something that everyone here would love to see, a bit of a breeze.
I think a gale, maybe.
So a 31-yard try by Welch. He is going to come up a little short on that one. And that will leave the score at 12-7.
I'd like to thank our good friends at Squad Locker for being a partner of USA Football. That's Squad Locker, partners with USA Football. You can always check USA Football out on the web, usafootball.com, usafootball.com. Big Time Sports, you can find us, bigtimesportsohio.com, bigtimesportsohio.com, or Twitter at BTS Ohio, BTS Ohio, or Facebook, Big Time Sports Ohio.
A little more than 7.5 minutes left in this one. If you're the Silver team, a long drive would be just what the doctor ordered. They'll go to the ground game. This is Anthony Forelli, young man from California. His first carry gets him down to the 43.
Well, you can tell there they've got some fresh legs in the backfield. Forelli here does a nice job, takes it to the outside, bounces out, show the leg, takes it away, breaks a nice tackle there. Not very big, but a shifty back getting to the sideline. And stays in bounds. Good heads-up play.
And we've got a whistle to stop the clock. Eight yards on the carry makes it a 2nd down and 2 call. High snap. Forelli not so fortunate this time because you know who was waiting on him.
And does his best WWF move right there on the tackle. Portillo again. High snap, gives him enough time. The running back's given up about 195 pounds right there.
At what point did Forelli know he was in some serious peril?
Might have been when he was 5 feet off the ground on the belly-to-belly move.
That's a loss to the 37. 3rd down 8. Cameron Davis operating at quarterback for the Silver team. Here's a handoff. Heading around the right side is David Tunis. He is in the open. He is at the 35. One man to beat, and he stepped out of bounds inside the 30. They will put the ball down at the 27, but good enough for a Silver first down.
Tried to play a Valinda there on the sideline, tiptoeing on the high wire. Now they get away with a hold there on Portillo. One way to block him, hold him. Look at him get there. Breaks the tackle, accelerates again, gets to the sideline, and just barely steps out of bounds. Good eyes by the official.
First and 10, 27-yard line. Silver team with a 5-point advantage at the moment. Tunis looking for running room. He's not going to find many. Snead stripped the ball. It will be picked up by the red team. Recovery by Bryce Barnes, defensive back from Virginia. The penetration by Kendrick Snead Jr. He had that pick earlier on the goal line. And now he forces a big fumble.
You want to see there's the outside read. Good kick out block. But you're going to see him there. Look at it, came in, and he just strips that football. He brings that right hand up high, rips the ball away. Good heads-up play there by the DB to fall on it. And Red's got some life again.
Touchdown would give them the lead. 5:44 to play. We're in the 4th period. Everybody on that spread formation and a high snap. It'll be recovered by McCullough, but a huge loss inside the 20-yard line.
That's one of the dangers gone with that shotgun. You have that bad snap. They're going to lose about 15, 20 yards on it. Just too tall, can't climb the ladder. They managed to fall on it and avoid major disaster.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention McCullough's socks. Play for Team USA. That's what you should be wearing. He'll get the call. Bounces off one man. He'll get to the 20.
Pick up about 2 yards. Almost
Look at
halfway
those
through
socks.
the quarter. Yeah,
Stars and stripes.
that's America right there.
Third down and long. Trouble. Down he goes. Tough to throw when the defensive line knows you're going to. Jordan Pendleton all the way from Tennessee to wrap up the red quarterback.
There's some good defensive line play by the Silver team. Nice play by Pendleton. Gets the sack, and now Silver should get the ball pretty good field position here.
The turnover doesn't do any damage. Silver gets the ball back at the 42-yard line of the red team.
Up 5 here, 4:16 to go. See if they can't eat up some clock. Ahead 12-7. One more game to play here. Been 3 weeks of football, 12 games. All streaming live here with Big Time Sports.
Zachary Harrison at quarterback. They'll hand off. They try to sweep the near side. Thomas has nowhere to go, and they will wrap him up at the 40-yard line. See who's on the bottom of the pile there for the red team. Chris Butler.
They told him to get to the sidelines, and he does. He keeps his shoulders pointed at the sidelines for about 15 yards of running there until he finally decides to cut it back.
Thomas will try the other side. The cutback. Penalty marker is down, and Thomas slides in at the 25. That may come back.
Well, they're trying to give him some room to run, trying to rush him to the wide side of the field. Easier to stay in bounds. You see Carl Davidson there with the hold call. It's going to back him up. We're far from being done, Jeff. It looks like we got the PA system back here at Perry.
Before we took the air, they realized they had no public address system, and the announcer was actually on the field yelling to the fans. So props to him. That couldn't have been easy. Bad snap. This is some trouble. Harrison tries to fall on it and does so. He'll lose yardage all the way back to the 40.
Well, this is where your playbook, you don't really have those plays set up for 3rd and, I don't know, 42 at this point. Slides back there, just manages to get the ball at the 40-yard line. Well, you start at the 140 and you end up at the other 40. Something you don't see every day. As we're here with our Shadowman Sports, proud supporter of USA Football, Shadowman Sports.
3rd and 29.
When you can't see the marker you got to get to for the. It's amazing these parents and players traveling in from 38 different states. We've got them here from California, Arizona, Massachusetts, Kansas, Illinois, New York, Kentucky, Minnesota, North Carolina, South Carolina, and all points in between.
C to Shining Sea. Penalty markers down on the snap. And we've got a 5-yard illegal procedure call on the Silver team.
I think a couple of those linemen want to get a jump start there to pick up their blocks.
Silver right now at the edge at 12-7 as we approach the 3-minute mark in the 4th period. But they are in danger of giving the football back.
That is the correct down and distance, folks.
Here is a sweep. Casey Letty Walker will get back over the 50-yard line to the 48. Still well shy of the first down.
It's not too often you have a 20-yard run and you're still about 15 yards
short. You're not halfway there.
Yeah. Nice job in the outside zone read. Beats him to the perimeter. He's going to see right about here. He's going to plant the foot, cut up field. Gets the inside of his block. Does a nice job of reading the hip. Timeout's called. Well, Red's going to get the ball back. About 2:58 to go. As you see the blue team starting to filter in from the practice field.
Trust your teeth and smile to Shock Doctor mouth guards. Trusted by athletes all over the world. Shock Doctor, the official mouth guard of the U.S. national team.
As a former player who had braces, I know the mouth guard was very important to my parents, as they said they put a pretty good investment into those teeth.
You appear to still have them all, so money well spent.
Yeah. Ooh, ricochet there off the helmet.
Drive punt that hit one of the defensive linemen.
Yeah.
As soon as someone secures possession, that's where the ball ends up, right?
Right. It's not very often you see a block punt with no rush.
2:50 left to play. Ball at the 42-yard line. This may be the final time that the red team has the football. Connor Stoddard at quarterback, and penalty markers. We've got an offside call on Silver.
I'll get 5 yards for free. You'll take that every time.
5 yards and no time off the clock. Sounds like a pretty good deal for the red team. 1st and 5. Stoddard fires, intercepted, and this one may go to the house.
I don't think they're going to get him.
Touchdown, Silver.
Well, that just helped seal the deal there by the defensive back. Number 30 there at the interception.
Kevion McCroy
Gets a well-deserved chest bump there from his coach. That's just a long throw to make, and he just jumps right in front of the route, and he takes that one to the house.
He was expecting the receiver to check up, and he was going deep. Well, that should just about wrap things up with a little more than 2.5 minutes remaining.
You don't have those options for onside kicks. So as we're getting ready here for the PAT. A little bit of a breeze is kicking up, kicking into a little bit of a headwind.
Again, no rush. Kicker's allowed to make sure that football's right where he'd like it. And this one he knocks up and through. 2:36 left to play in this one. 19-7 now in favor of Team Silver. That interception and return by Kevion McCrory is our Cutter's catch of the game, Troy.
See right there, he just reads it, jumps the route, boom, picks it off. Takes it 51 yards to the house for the touchdown. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's for the win as well.
If you want to be the best, you have to wear the best. Cutter's football gloves and grip technology are in a league of their own. Cutter's football gloves, the official glove of the U.S. national team. Now we've got a stoppage.
Another
timeout.
timeout.
Looks like the Silver team might want to talk things over because I think they may have had too many players on the field.
Yeah, we're not in Canada, so playing with 11. I'd like to thank our good friends at McDavid for being a proud sponsor of USA Football. That's McDavid. Without these sponsors, it would be difficult to make these games happen for USA Football, so we appreciate all the help they do for the young man of America as United States football continues to grow worldwide. I know our 19 and under team just lost a game in Harbin, China to the Canadians in the championship.
Stoddard will hand off. McCullough weaving his way in the neighborhood of the 39. After a gain. And Kiefer will leave. We'll get Swope back in there. A couple of quick substitutions for Team Red.
Jeff, this entire game, both these teams have just battled throughout the game in this heat, in the equipment, 95, 98 degree heat, and they've never stopped playing. Great job there by the defensive front of the Silver team. They get on the tackle, looks to be number 44 for the Silver team. That is Jason Irrett, linebacker out of Illinois.
Hunter Stoddard, incomplete.
Somebody's trying to plead their case with the official there. I'm not sure what about.
One of the Team Red offensive linemen.
It's going to bring on the punting unit.
So with 1:21 left and a 12-point lead, Silver will get the ball back.
Silver's getting it back. Sorry, turned it over on downs. See if they don't just don't take a knee right here, run it right up the gut.
Walt Reese.
It's taking a while here.
At quarterback, they'll need to start the clock. Matt Donovan will join him in the backfield, and you're exactly right. Reese will take a knee, and that will move the clock along. He'll have to do it one or two more times, and Silver will put this game away. So the red team, on their second possession, A very impressive drive, a long pass to the tight end, got them inside the 20-yard line. They scored a touchdown. It was the only score that they could muster here this afternoon.
Well, they had some tough time. They moved the ball inside the 5, turned it over one time, but just couldn't seem to put it together to get the win. But a good effort by both sides. Silver and red, as you said, Jeff, we're going to be seeing, I'm sure, a lot of these players in a few years playing on Saturday afternoons once again. I think that's just going to about do it.
That should. As they move to the sideline, they'll line up to shake hands. And this one is over. Final score. Team Silver 19, Team Red 7.
Congratulations to both teams on an
As you see the officials there trying to get everything sorted out. We'll be coming up with our next game here just shortly.
That leaves one more game on the schedule. And we will have it for you.
As USA football's invaded Stark County here for the last 3 weeks. Over 1,000 players here in Stark County. I think we're going to have our player of the game coming up in just a second. That's our Cutters player of the game. See both teams are shaking hands. Good sportsmanship shown by both teams as well on a very difficult way to play. So we got our player of the game, and that's going to be, this doesn't happen very often, Jeff, but it's going to go to a defensive lineman from the losing team, Gavin Portillo, as you see him there with a big-time sack and a big-time play.
He was in on just about every defensive play. Gavin Portillo, our shock doctor, player of the game. Be sure to trust your teeth and smile to Shock Doctor mouth guards trusted by athletes all over the world. Shock Doctor is the official mouth guard of the U.S. national team. That's the story. Silver 19, Red 7. It's a final. Thanks for joining us. For Troy Richardson, I'm Jeff Shreve saying so long from Massillon, Ohio.
Players here in Stark County. I think we're going to have our player of the game coming up in just a second. That's our Cutters player of the game. See both teams are shaking hands. Good sportsmanship shown by both teams as well on a very difficult way to play. So we got our player of the game, and that's going to be, this doesn't happen very often, Jeff, but it's going to go to a defensive lineman from the losing team, Gavin Portillo, as you see him there with a big-time sack and a big-time play.
He was in on just about every defensive play. Gavin Portillo, our shock doctor, player of the game. Be sure to trust your teeth and smile to Shock Doctor mouth guards trusted by athletes all over the world. Shock Doctor is the official mouth guard of the U.S. national team. That's the story. Silver 19, Red 7. It's a final. Thanks for joining us. For Troy Richardson, I'm Jeff Shreve saying so long from Massillon, Ohio.